Hello, my friends. Welcome to another episode of Agents in the Trenches, the real raw realities of the real estate industry, not just as agents, team leaders, and brokers, but also as industry professionals that are really paving the way in a market that is totally different than anything we've seen before. So today's episode of Agents in the Trenches is actually going to be a very special one. If you're watching us live, go ahead and hit hashtag live. If you are watching us on replay, go ahead and give us hashtag replay. But whatever you're doing, go ahead and click the arrow and share this with everyone, because today we are going to be bringing the spotlight on our premier partners. Now, let me tell you a little bit about what the value and what the collaboration that exists with our premier partners. So they say that it takes a village to raise a child. Well, let me tell you, it takes a whole community to help a real estate agent become successful. And when I talk about it takes a whole community, is because right now in this market, that is what we must build. We must build community. So I am super proud and super grateful that I have industry leaders that have trusted in the vision and the mission and the purpose of our academy, the Southwest Florida Real Estate and Business Academy, the place where we not only get people licensed, but our true vision is to bring agent productivity and business development to all the agents in the area, regardless of the brand, the logo, the affiliation, the company that they work with. And in order to do that, I have been able to join forces, really lock arms, right? And hold hands and run together side by side with other industry professionals. And as I always say, we're just getting started. So to kick this off and to showcase these men and women that have believed in the vision of, hey, you know what, Lucy? Yes, I believe in community. I want more eyes on me and my business. I want to be the go-to professional in the industry. You know what, Lucy? Yes, I want to be omnipresent. I don't just want to be visible when I go to an event or when I go to a networking. I want to be part of the world that you've created, this, consistently evolving and growing world of real estate that you've created. So we're going to put our money where our mouth is and support the vision. And that's why they are my premier partners. My responsibility and my commitment to them is to make them visible wherever I go, in whatever I do, from my academy to my networkings, to my Winners Wednesdays, to my website, to our podcast, to always make them omnipresent, because I can't do this by myself. Growing as we're growing and doing what we're doing takes more than one person. So thank you to everyone that is joining us. Thank you for your comments. Thank you for your questions. But let's kick this off. So first and foremost, I want to bring a beautiful lady that believed in this vision, and she connected me with the president of her corporation. And so here we have Debora. How are you, Debora? Welcome to
Hello. Good afternoon. Thanks for having me here today. And I'm glad to be here with you guys.
Excellent. Tell us a little bit about who you represent, what you guys do.
So I am a title closer. We are Access Title Agency. We are for the past 30 years in Southwest Florida. We started in Naples. Today we have 5 offices in Cape Coral, Fort Myers Beach, Fort Myers. We are here to join forces with loan officers, with real estate agents, and help you guys to close your deals. And how they always like to say, have a smooth closing. But in reality, it's a genuine care with each client, each transaction, and each file. And that's what I'm proud about Access Title. We really care.
Excellent. Well, good. And next up is our premier partner, Red Zone Insurance, represented by Alexander Alvarez. Welcome, Alexander. How are you?
Hi, Lucy. Thanks for having me.
Excellent. Well, go ahead and introduce your company, Red Zone. I know Red Zone is new in the area, but you guys have been in business for a while. Go ahead and tell us all about your company.
Yeah, we opened our doors in 2009. We're serving the entire state of Florida. Obviously, we're more localized as far as on a physical level in Miami and Palm Beach. But again, we're looking to make connections all across the state. We're expanding our business. We are, going into different realms when it comes to franchising and life insurance, and again, just keeping everybody in house and serving them the best way we can.
I love it. I love it. And you know what? There's never, this is my mindset, is there's enough business to go around. I always tell people there's enough business to go around. So let's continue this spotlight with our next premier partner, which actually was one of my very first premier partners, Chris Larson. Chris, welcome.
Hey, Lucy, how are you doing?
Very good. Chris, tell us about you and your company.
Chris Larson with Edge Home Finance. We're actually the largest independent mortgage broker in the country now. We've got over 150 different wholesale lenders that I work with. I've been in the business for 20 years. So, between my experience and my access to lenders, I can basically take care of anybody's financing need.
I love it. I love it. Well, the thing that I'm excited the most is that you guys decided to join forces with me and the Academy and the vision. I want to kind of go round robin. So we'll kick it off with Debora. What makes Access Title unique? What is the superpower? Because I think every company, right, depending on the leader, has a differentiating factor. It's one of the things that I teach when I coach my clients and when I do business development and I talk to agents and helping them, launch their business. I'm like, you got to find your differentiator. You've got to set yourself apart. So Debora, what would you say is one of Access Title's differentiators?
So since I got licensed, I kind of course, been working with different real professionals and real estate professionals. And I noticed that Greg, our president, he's been in the industry for the past 45 years. HB Wilkinson, it's located in Galiana in Illinois. And when he bought Access Title 5 years ago, it's like a puppy mama shop, but at the same time with all the big help with he have more than 60 employees in Illinois. And what I like about it, when everybody work as a team, like we have a lot of technology which make us unique. So we are industry leading technology, which help a lot of agents with their liability in hours as well, to avoid potential fraudulent sellers. We are proud to say that we really are a very ethical company. And the way that our group, we have 12 employees in Southwest Florida. I believe we are a family. I love the way that we work together, that each one can jump in each one's files because of the centralization that we create in this business in our offices. And that makes like everybody, and the main thing, I always joke around.
Okay, that's going to be your super. So the main thing, that's the superpower. That's the one we want to know. Okay, what's the main thing?
So my closers, we are the only title company in Fort Myers Beach. And my two closers that I love the most, like I don't get mad, they're all ones, but those, they are unique. Marcy Cape Coral, she's been doing title for 33 years. Experience, it's her name. Adrienne Grabber at the beach, 32 years. So I'm very proud to say that, you can come and work with us and you're going to be in good hands.
So definitely many years of experience. So, okay, Alex, you are literally, Red Zone, Noel, who I have, it was just like a perfect connection from the very get-go. I'm very interested in what Red Zone Insurance is leading the way in, right? And what you guys are doing here in Southwest Florida. Tell us that superpower. What would you say Red Zone's superpower is?
Well, for a lot of agencies across the state, they usually have a niche market. They usually have something that they specifically specialize in. We have a team that really each of us does have our own specialty. That's why we're so well-rounded, but we are a fearless agency. Anything you bring into us, we always tell that to everybody, bring it in and we'll figure it out. So again, we don't shy away from any kind of business. We don't shy away from anyone really. And we do believe in sales through education. Like we do educate people extensively on what they're buying. They, before they sign anything, they know exactly what they bought and what features it has. And, like that, we're transparent. We're just a transparent place. And again, in a market so, like I say, so competitive, we stand up because of that. We keep it honest. Again, there's just nothing to hide when it comes to this. But a lot of, just again, traditionally speaking, that's typically not how the reputation our business has. But we take a lot of pride in just being super transparent.
That's awesome.
That's awesome. Yes, it is. Because listen, let's face it, there's a lot of other people that do what we do, right? So tapping into that differentiator, tapping into what makes us authentic and unique is really the superpower. So Chris, I know if anyone has competition out there, it's you in the mortgage world, but I also know that you have a lot of unique things that you are able to do, right? Even though you're from Minnesota, I think you're from Minnesota. So tell everyone what your superpower is. For everyone that's watching, by the way, guys, we have people on Facebook, we have people on YouTube, we have people on Instagram right now. So shout out to all your followers. Go share this live so that these rock stars can be present even more. Chris, so tell us your superpower.
Quick shout out to Red Zone. We've got one loan in process. Red Zone's taking care of the flood insurance, the homeowners insurance right now. Melvis is doing a great job. The quote came in really reasonable for both, which was great. And,
awesome.
She had all the answers to the questions that we had, so that was very cool. First experience with them, so it's a great experience. As far as Edge Home Finance and what we do great, just with our size, we've got sort of preferred treatment from the lenders that we work with. So we've got free lock extensions, we've got some exceptions, we've got instead of account reps for a lot of our lenders, we have concierges, things like that. We get first in line as far as underwriting speed, just a lot of different things like that. Myself, we've got 150 different lenders. We got bank statement, we've got cash flow, we got commercial, we've got ITIN loans, we've got all the normal, conventional FHA, VA, etc. We can pretty much do everything. I've done almost every type of loan there is. I also work with all kinds of clientele. Hablo en español también. Si tienen cliente que quiera hablar en español conmigo, pues puedo ayudar a ellos también. So a lot of people say they've been, in the industry 20 years. Well, if they've been hanging out on the golf course doing those country club cookie cutter loans, they've been playing checkers. I've been playing chess for 20 years.
Nice. I like that. Ooh, I like the way you said that. So guys, I want you to connect with our audience, right? Because let's be real. There's going to be people that are going to be watching this live, and this is your opportunity to show, to shine and I really believe that we could build a connection even through our audience, right? People that are watching us, you guys know that everything is being done nowadays through social media. Like people are going to want to know, okay, let's see who Lucy's Premier Partners are and why did she join forces with them and what makes them different. And I know people are wondering. So I want to go round. I just want to open it up. No more round robin. I want us to have a conversation. The hot topic of our market right now for everyone that's watching is the market. And you guys have your finger on the pulse of the market. So give us the good, the bad, and the ugly. So who wants to go first? Because now it's time to really connect and engage. Let's build this fire. So what are you guys seeing happening in the market? Whoever wants to go first, just interrupt each other. This is kind of like, just a fireside chat.
Well, I mean, I'll speak up quick. I've been doing social media stuff to the people up north, to Minnesota, to Wisconsin. Patty and I did a video saying, hey, it's a buyer's market down in Florida. Come on down. We did another one on Nuestra Gente in Miami for the Spanish speakers in Miami. Hey, the market's just out of control over there. It's a lot more mellow over here. Again, it's a buyer's market. It's cheaper. It's just quieter neighborhoods, that kind of thing. So
Mhm.
that's the way we've been approaching the, lots of inventory and few buyers sort of situation that we're in.
So you see a lot of people coming from the East Coast?
Yeah,
Yeah.
there's a lot of people coming from Miami right now. Yeah, for sure.
Since I'm doing a lot of open houses, and that's my way of engaging with my agents, because I really believe that title companies, we should be walk like hand by hand with the agents. And these people are hustling. They are doing what they are supposed to do to do their showings and sell their homes. And that's the way that we Access Title support them. Other than knowledge, that we do the CE credit classes and we bring knowledge, because I think that's the main key for success. We do a lot of open houses. You're gonna see me every Saturdays, and of course, I kind of interview them. We engage, and I got to know what's going on, and in their world. I'm here to close. They are there to sell, and it's a win-win. And I think Lehigh, at least in our area, right? We're talking about Lehigh, Cape Coral, Fort Myers. There is a lot of builders. There is a lot of new homes, and everybody from Miami is moving to Lehigh. No, it's incredible. It is. It's like, and now I think they are selling a lot. Don't say that the market it's not as slow. At least for us, thanks God, we are getting a lot of contracts, and I'm seeing they're being very successful with this buyers marketing. And now, of course, the sellers is kind of like they are helping, with seller transactions and all of that. But it's happening. It's like it's a booming. I think at least in this area now.
Right. Well, I mean, us in general, we're looking in any transaction, we're looking for harmony. Like, we don't want to be just, another piece in there. We want to be, involved. We want to be communicating with absolutely everybody between title and the broker and the real estate agent. We just want to be right there in the front lines. A lot of people who do these type of transactions or are part of these transactions, they try to, again, hide. And we're just not. We're fearless. We want to be in the front. If there is an issue, we want to bring it up. We don't want to just, we don't want it to be we don't want it to be a problem. 2 days before closing. Get out up front. And we work through everything. We are a solutions-based agency. We don't. Again, we have no issues. Literally, just looking for a solution for absolutely anything that comes our way.
I love that. And speaking about solutions, I want to touch on one thing, because this is the power of collaboration, right? So I started talking about collaboration over competition actually in 2023. I remember the end of 2022 in December, I actually met with a local realtor, and I said, you know what? I know the market is going to be changing soon. We just don't know how soon or how long it's going to take to change, but I already feel the symptoms. And I said, I have a vision of bringing local real estate agent, mortgage, insurance, title, survey, appraisers, home inspectors, builders, just everybody coming together. And ironically enough, this person said to me, good luck bringing everyone together, because especially realtors and team leaders and brokers, I don't see that happening. And to be honest with you, I've been in Southwest Florida in the real estate industry since the year 2000. So I know we've been historically a very flat real estate market when it comes to realtors and team leaders and brokers. It's every man for himself, right? But I didn't care. I mean, I'm a trailblazer. I like going against the current. I like taking on a good challenge. I said, well, I'm gonna start bringing what I've called frontline leaders together. So I say that to ask you guys this question: how has it been being part of this collaborative movement? Because I know, Chris, you joined first. I know Alex and Noel through Red Zone came on second. You guys are now doing cross business. I know Debora is kind of like the new kid on the block, and she's like, checking us out. She saw the vision. what do you guys see happening amongst yourselves? Because that's the idea. It's like collaboration over competition.
I think every relationship, like as you said, I'm the new kid on the block, right? I was observing first. I think it's fantastic what you're doing, and I already said that to you. I know this, all these professionals, like these different segments that we've been seeing, the Wednesday and the boot camp and the productivity and your premier partners. I think when you will build this trust, this relationship, this will flow naturally. I think we have all the opportunity to work with each other to, join forces and make everybody successful. That's my personal opinion.
Right. So in our agency's case, it's kind of like one of those situations where you feel that you fit everybody that comes your way. Again, I've never really encountered anybody that has come to work with us and has really said that we were the problem, and we take pride in that, because ultimately, we do want to serve everybody. We do want to, again, to build these relationships. And again, I say this about myself, and I say this about maybe some other people, that if you don't like me, I think you might be the problem, because I think I think we're pretty likable overall, So and we take pride in that, and we try to. And obviously, we're a small staff, but we're a family. And we've been working together everybody's been working. The current staff that we have right now has been at least together for the last 4 years. So we're consistent when it comes to that. We're there for each other. We want to kind of present that to everybody else.
Nice. Well, you've seen this evolve, Chris. What's your perspective?
I mean, I like the team that you've put together, Lucy. I like that, we've got the insurance right there. We've got your agents that work with you. We've got the title people. There's business for everyone. So like at last week's event at your place, there was a girl that was a mortgage person as well. And I talked to her, and it turned out like she was fairly new in the industry. And I was like, well, here's my card. I've been doing it for 20 years. And, I know that a lot of places will just sort of hire you and then cut you loose and, not really give you any backup. So I was like, just call me with any question, whatever. I mean, it's great to be able to see people as partners and not competition. And, it's great to have a team and have a lot of people all together.
And that's the idea. The idea is that even my premier partners as yourselves, right, and others that come on board, that we continue to build this fire. Now, let's talk a little bit about what you guys are doing to educate. And when I talk about education, I'm not talking about just the ABCs and 1, 2, 3s. I'm talking about money making activity, like I call MMA. I mean, you guys know how MMA works, right? In the real world, I don't like watching MMA fights. I don't like watching fights at all, because I can't stand watching somebody get their head beaten. But when I came up with the concept of money making activity, I'm like, yeah, that's my kind of MMA. Like that lights up my fire. Like, let's bring it on. So one of the things that I know that I always share with my premier partners is, hey, you got to do workshops. You got to be delivering the fire. You got to be bringing the arsenal. You got to be the voice. You got to be the one stepping up, like disrupting, like forget about anybody else. I'm the gorilla in the room. Like we were talking yesterday about being that silverback gorilla, instead of just, jumping around from here to there. It's like, okay, this is what I'm going to do. So what do you guys think about this concept of money making activity? What are you doing to bring that to your realtors in the area? Because at the end of the day, listen, if realtors aren't making money, if team leaders aren't closing deals, if brokers aren't closing deals, you and I are not making money. Like our money is made through the realtors that can close deals. Now there's a lot of realtors out there. They're working really hard, but they're missing the mark. They're missing the boat. They're not scoring. So let's talk a little bit about what you guys think about this concept of MMA, money-making activity.
I always think like realtors, everyone, right? They deserve a reliable partner. That's what we want to be for them. We don't want to just close one deal and, they got their check, their commission, and that's it. We want to make sure that they know that we are there for them. So me in person, I'm the one who, my boss always said, Deborah, like you have to kind of, you see, separate your life sometimes, but this is just me. It's my personality. I will answer the phone Saturdays. I do answer the phone sometimes at 8 p.m. I'm the kind of person like a mama. I see all these new kids who got their license 2 years ago, and now they're selling a lot. And I always kind of, for my experience, since I'm as a business developer for Access Title, I'm going to a lot of networking. I'm meeting a lot of builders and a lot of loan officers. So I kind of, my eye open for the whole real estate scenario. And it doesn't, it's just a care, you know, when you really care about them and you say, hey, you observe that they are kind of helping each other. They are partnering. There's a lot of agents. They're creating little groups of agents. I don't know if they share the commissions. I'm not an agent. I don't know what they do, but they are going a lot to Miami and partnering Miami as well with another agents, which are bringing the buyers. So I always give them little tips here and there. And that's, I think, is just my way of saying, hey, I care about you. You're going to get this done. Like, I advertise as much as I can their listings on Instagram. When I do the open houses in my son's birthday, that my son alone, and I say, I'm going to be just for 1 hour with you. And you know what? This is all about, hey, I'm here for you. I'm here to support you.
That's good.
That's my answer.
Alex, what do you think about the MMA concept, money-making activity? Like, realtors need to make money. And I know Miami, West Palm Beach, the East Coast is very different than Southwest Florida. Like Southwest Florida, I don't know if it's the air, the oxygen, the sun. People are very relaxed. Everything is later, tomorrow, next week. That's just our vibe over here. But, you know, we're going to change that.
Yeah, so there is something, you know, again, I was born and raised in Miami, so was Noel. We do have something called the Miami Hustle, and the Miami Hustle works everywhere. It works absolutely everywhere from any part of this entire country. The Miami Hustle works. So,
I love that.
And one thing that I talk about, and funny enough, in the networking event that you threw here in Coral Gables 2 weeks ago, there were a couple of realtors that approached me specifically with, funny enough, with the same question. It's, you know, you're doing a good faith estimate, calculations, early numbers and whatnot. And for whatever reason, they just can't get the insurance number correct. They can't get it because obviously that's not what they do. But obviously, it's a big factor when it comes into qualifying somebody and, again, getting to the closing table eventually. I told them, I'm like, you know what? I take pride in trying to live a stress-free life, or as stress-free as possible. And I want you to kind of do the same in your transaction. So if you are trying to put something together and you have an address, you have a property, I'm like, send me the property address. Just with an address alone, I'll give you a ballpark. I might be off by, a bit, because there's a lot of factors when it comes to the final number, but at least I'll give you a ballpark that you can actually work with. Okay, we're off by a couple bucks at the end. Well, you see, but I'm sure it's going to be a lot less stressful if you at least had a very, very relatively accurate idea from the beginning. So again, these are all things that I think it's a unique service that I'm not saying that everybody provides it, but I'll provide it to you. All right, you go ahead, just reach out to me, send me an address. I'll give you a number. All I need is an address. And it'll likely make your life a lot easier. You'll probably just overcome a lot of obstacles to get to that closing table.
I like that. We need some Miami hustle in Southwest Florida. Like, we don't have, Chris, you've been here. I don't know how long Deborah's been here, but I grew up in Miami. I grew up in New York and then Miami. Like, I know the hustle from New York. And in New York, you either like get out of the way or they're just going to walk over you.
They're going to pass over you.
Miami, is not as intense, but I like the Miami hustle. We don't have the Miami hustle here. We need more of that. Chris, what would you tell people for that make money, activity? Like, we have to do the things that are going to make money. Like, what do you see yourself teaching? Tell us more about what you're doing to help agents with the make money activity?
Well, I'm doing first time home buyer class with you directed to the agents coming up soon. I did a presentation I think last month for the agents as well at your event.
Yes.
We're doing open houses together. I mean, realistically, you know, the more faces you get in front, either on social
Yeah.
media or in person, it's really a numbers game. In a slow market, statistically, you actually have more per capita clients than in a busy market, because
Mhm.
so many service providers get out of a commission-based job quicker than the people that need that service decline.
Right.
So, but the customers are spread out further. You got to cast a wider net, so to speak,
Right.
and that's really the strategy, is just have everybody see your face. And then, like Alex said, I'm going to steal that. You know, if they don't like me, the problem's probably them.
I like that. I like that. You know, that's pretty cool. I like that, and I like the Miami hustle. So, real quick, we've got about 7 minutes left. Let's talk about expansion, because Alex hit on it. You know, I actually met him at the event in Coral Gables. You know, I'm not the type of person to sit around and see what happens. Like, I can't. That's just not my DNA. My DNA is not, well, I'm just going to sit here and, see what happens. I'm like, no, let's get into action. So that's why I ended up in Coral Gables, but we want to continue doing that. What would you tell agents? What would each of you tell agents they must start doing more of right now to expand their business? I mean, just in Southwest Florida, there's 21,000 licensed realtors from, I believe it's Port Charlotte to Naples. 21,000. There is no shortage of agents, but you know the sad part? Because I know my numbers. 96%, 96% of our agent population in 2024 only closed 4 transactions. I mean, that is painful. So I already know the problem. They're not taking massive action. They're not doing money-making activities. They need someone to kind of like ignite them, right? That's why I love my Winners Wednesday Productivity Bootcamp. That's why listen, if I could find a way to make you guys a staple at the Productivity Bootcamp, I mean, I would do it, because Deborah was here yesterday. It was
Fantastic.
fire. It was over the top, right?
So I'm gonna start, because this is exactly what I'm doing right now. I noticed I've been in US for the past 33 years. I lived in Coral Gables as well. I lived in South Beach, and I don't want to say what else, but I was in Boca for the past 20 years. East Coast is totally different from Southwest Florida. But as I told you, there's a lot of Miami people in this area as well. Even the agents, everybody here is really working really hard to be successful. But I see all these people doing social media. Okay, nothing against. Everybody's on Instagram. Everybody's being very creative and doing amazing videos. I really enjoy to watch those videos, because I'm like, oh my God, how can they do that? But anyhow, I'm from a different generation. I still believe in the power of meeting people. Networking for me is, I think that's a way to go. Even like this broker that I met, and she was in a plaza, and this is a Latino plaza with a supermarket. And I was observing like 200, 300 people every Saturday must walk in that supermarket. And I asked her, do you know the manager? Why you don't approach your community? That's me, my opinion. They should be more up there. There's parks recreation departments in they have events, and just go and reach out to your community. It can be at your church. It can be not your close friends, but you just put your face out there. I know social media is important, but I still believe in the power of relationships, meeting people face to face.
Yes, I like that.
I mean, quick little background on me. I worked in retail banking for 8 years. And when I worked in Washington Mutual, then eventually Chase. And what I learned about working there specifically, especially I was there in my 20s, they didn't let you be yourself. and you kind of did have to follow a code, and yeah, obviously you still have to have your morals, and you have to, but you can't really let your personality shine. And at the end of the day, what you're selling isn't a house, you're selling yourself.
Yeah.
So if you are going to, you have to buy into what you're doing, and but above all, you got to buy into yourself. You got to know that you are, you're a capable person. You have, again, you have to have a certain likability factor. And again, like that, and when I got out of banking, I was able to, again, I took a little bit of a break, and then I kind of spread my wings in sales. And what I realized early on was everybody's selling the same products. Why are they buying it from me?
Right.
And that's what you have to expand on. You have to really buy into yourself that you are a unique person, you are an individual, and you need to start selling yourself. And the only way you do it is by actually buying into the industry. It's a beautiful industry like we talked about.
Yes.
And if you can simply just tap into that it factor within yourself, you're going to be successful. But you have to buy in to yourself.
I like you.
Yes. Chris, any feedback on that?
I mean, I always tell people, like, if someone likes you, they're going to do business with you, and if they don't, they won't.
Right.
And that's really what it comes down to, is just meet as many people as you can. It doesn't matter your experience. It doesn't matter, somebody who's new always has somebody experienced behind them, backing them up.
Yep.
Somebody who's got 30 years of experience but is a jerk, nobody wants to work with anyway. So you need to go out there and find your circle of people that match with your personality, and then start working. And like you said, 96% of the realtors didn't do anything. I think the numbers are sort of intimidating, but realistically, it's a lot of people who move down here, they're retired, they get their real estate license because they're bored. They go to the free breakfast or whatever, and they go to happy hours. They go to Brokers Open and do Facebook pictures with mimosas or whatever.
Yeah.
But beyond that, they're not really. Are they realtors? I think there's probably about 500 to 1,000 real realtors out there, and the rest of them are just sort of hobbyists, so to speak.
That's very true. I have to agree with everything you guys have said. Deborah said, social media is, a lot of people do it and they're great at it. And I agree with you. Social media is not the end all. Like, social media is just to have, people become familiar with you and get to know you a little bit. You got to be belly to belly, nose to nose, toes to toes with people. That's why I do what I do. That's why, okay, you're going to meet me on social media. You're going to connect with me on social media, but you got to come and see who I really am. That's why I believe in what Alex says. You got to be you, right? You got to be you and be authentic and just, tap into that superpower, what I do different, who I really am and how I do it. And then, Chris, you're right on the money, because people are going to do business with people they like, they know, and they trust.
Exactly.
So it takes a lot of massive action, because it's not just social media. It's not just the networking. I'm one, listen, everybody knows I do my audio voice messages to reconnect with my people. I'm constantly, Mondays, I'm calling people out, I'm reaching out to them. Every day I'm having, 4 to 6 different conversations with people. We still got to go back to basics. So there's plenty of room at the top, but I'm super excited that you guys join me here on Agents in the Trenches. I hope this is not the first and last time that you come in, be my co-host one day. Just raise your hand, don't expect an invitation. This is your official invitation. Hey, Lucy, when are we going to jump on Agents in the Trenches and talk about whatever? My playbook is open to my premier partners. I'm super grateful that you believed in this vision. We're just getting started. Wait till we take the Winners Wednesday to West Palm Beach, to Kendall. Alex said there's a location in Kendall that we can go do it. We're going to Debora to Naples. Okay. And that's the power of doing bigger and better and more bolder things together. So I'm excited. We're just getting started. Anyone want to say any closing words? Deborah, I'll let you say any closing words. Alex, Chris, to our audience on Facebook, on Instagram, on YouTube.
Just want to
I
let
just
you
want to
guys
thank you for the opportunity, Lucy. Thank you. Thanks for having
and
me.
I just want to let you guys know that we are here for you. We are here to support you, to work with you. Thank you very much for what you do. I'm so happy to be part of the team. And I want to meet you soon, Alexander. Probably I'm going to go to Miami. Nice to meet
For
you.
sure. No, likewise.
Come to
Thank
the West Coast, Alex. Come to the West Coast. The West Coast is the best coast.
There is a magnet trying to pull me over there, and I understand it. Yeah, but reality is that I love the energy. There is a movement, and I'm glad to be. We're us at Red Zone. We're just happy to be part of that movement.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Thank you, Chris, as well.
Happy 4th of July, everyone.
Yes, thank you, everyone. Happy 4th of July. Enjoy.
Thank
See you
you.
guys on the next one.
See you. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Bye-bye. Thank you.